I have no clue what it's about.
Flash games really used to dominate the
Oh,
internet. You could
Happy
open your
Wheel.
browser and
This
instantly
shit fire.
play
I used to
something
play
that would
this at
keep you entertained
school.
for hours as a kid. Some of the best Flash games, though, have basically
Nostalgia.
just been forgotten. So I want to
Thanks.
look at a few Flash game
Good
gems
too.
that absolutely deserve to be remembered. I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but did you ever just click on a random Flash game years ago and play it for hours and wonder why you can't stop? Even though I had a console when Flash games were most popular, there'd be
Happy
some
Wheels
times
was
where I'd rather
goat.
just play a weird little
Thanks. Those
browser
are my
game someone
favorite.
made for fun. Most of the time, these games were either super violent, super ridiculous, or made zero sense at all. And half the time, that's what made them memorable in the first place. A lot of Flash games were total nonsense, but I swear they had more personality than most games today. They just existed in this weird little internet world where anything could happen. Also, at the end of me explaining each game, I'm going to give them a little score on the gem scale, basically just how goated the game was to me overall. It doesn't really have to do anything with objectively being good. But now that that's said, the first game I want to talk
Take
about
me
is
back.
Bartender: The Right Mix. I remember loading on this game totally by accident as a kid.
I ain't trying to go
Mixed
back. They
drinks for
kicked
this
me out of
bartender guy, and
France,
there was a
bro.
ton of
Threw
different
me in this
combinations that
bitch.
could have different
Had me
effects.
playing
I
computer
guess the
games.
goal was to make him proud, like
Shit.
he's the Gordon Ramsay of mixed drinks or something. Some of these drinks would make him just straight up die, others he'd explode, I don't even know. I spent like 15 minutes just throwing random ingredients together, mostly because I just want to see how violent of a reaction I could get out of him. It's less of a game and more of one of
He's
those old
fucked
browser
up.
titles like Whack Your Boss that just let you click stuff and watch an animation happen.
I got
That
banned
too.
from
Giving this one
computer
a
class
6 on
in
the gem
7th
The
scale out of
game
10.
too. What you was searching like that?
Next up is Gunblood. This game was pretty popular a while ago, so I remember it kind of clearly. The cowboy quick draw duel game, I'm sure you've played it. You pick a character, wait for a 3-second count.
There was a game I used to play on my phone. It's like I used to shoot
I was playing games, you
an
freak.
arrow and it would bounce off the walls. Oh, my fault.
Down,
My
and when the
fault.
screen says fire, you're supposed to just click your mouse over and over and over again before the other guy does, and whoever kills the other person faster wins the duel. Remember, you only get 6 shots though. The way the enemies move was pretty weird. It was slow and kind of tense because you're staring at them, waiting for them to click at the right moment, and then there's this little rhythm
No
you
way.
almost get into. It was fun though, going from guy to guy, just clicking
Teach
and
me
hoping it
new-
works out for you. It's not anything flashy or crazy, but it was satisfying and pretty
I was
challenging.
finna say
I'm sure a lot of
something
you
about
remember
this
this game,
game.
like I said.
Oh.
Back then, a lot of kids were playing it when I was
See,
in
look
school,
far.
and this is when games had to be edgy, violent, or just over the top in some dramatic way. This one fits right in. I'm giving Gunblood an 8 out of 10 on the gem scale. Now we got one that was more popular than I remember, and that game's Territory War. This one was addictive with friends. I used to play it at sleepovers and stuff all the time. You had these little stick figure armies, and you'd take turns shooting at each other across a tiny map. The early 2010s were obsessed with stick figure games and stick figure animations. Everything had to be a stick figure. I kinda miss those times though. Territory War had horrible physics that made no sense, but it had them, and that was the fun of the game. It's basically like Worms if you ever played it. You kinda just take turns and throw stuff at each other like bombs and try to get the other people
I got
knocked off
banned
the
from
map.
sewing
The
class
premise
too.
was pretty simple. There was a few different maps you could choose from though, which was pretty cool.
You got a
There was an
song? They had a
obnoxious
song
soundtrack
in
that I
class?
kind of liked though, but I can't play it for copyright reasons. It's
Fuck.
crazy though that Flash games used to be able to
Yeah,
basically
cooking
play
class
anything
and shit too.
music-wise,
Swear to
depending
God.
on where they were platformed. Territory War did get pretty repetitive though, even though I enjoyed the game. It's kind of one of those games where you just move on to the next game and forget about it for a while and randomly remember it years later. What am I even
forget
saying
the
on this
name of
script?
the
Every game
class.
on this list is like that. Territory War gets a
Home EC.
6.7 on the gem scale. Next up is Bloody Rage 2. This one always felt so cursed to me
Oh,
because
wait.
it was like someone just dumped a bunch of parodies of
probably had
popular
some different
IPs into an
shit.
ugly fighting game.
You probably had
You
that,
pick
to
from
be
this
honest.
bizarre lineup of characters like Spider-Man, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Obama, and maybe a few others you definitely shouldn't be using in the same game. And you just fight with these horribly janky controls. They're awful. And the whole thing feels pretty weird. I don't want to use the word unsettling. I mean, maybe if you're a kid, but it did feel really weird. I don't know. Look at it. It honestly had some charm to it though, and that's why I put it on this list in the first place. And they definitely made an attempt with the combat system, which I'm all for. I can respect that. The game was clunky as hell though, and the first
We used
attempt
to
at a
cook,
3D
so
fighting
do
game in
everything
Flash
all in
was
that
never
one
really built
class.
for it. The controls are slow, and once you've done a fight or two, there's nothing left the game
You
has
probably
to
did
offer.
have that.
So yeah, it's
See,
messy,
fire.
kinda pointless, but totally bizarre, and that's exactly why I put it on here. This game gets a 3 out of 10 on the gem scale for trying. Now is one that I was pretty excited to talk about, and that's Divine Intervention, and I'll be honest, for a Flash game, it's pretty badass. You're a priest walking around with a gun through a city overrun by demons and zombies. Yeah,
I
very
went to
early
this one school
2010s
for like
Flash
a
game
year
right
and
there.
they had a pool.
It's a side scroller and all the zombies are coming at you
We
from
had
the
one.
front.
Well, we
Oh
had
my
one
gosh,
across
these
the
things
street
used
in
to
high
scare me
school.
as a kid. I mean, just like look at them though. Like they're pretty creepy. Just walking around in this game, you can tell shock
Where the
value
pool
is
is
what they
at?
were going
That's
for, but I
Bayou
do
shit. That's
respect
some
the art
boozy
style
shit.
and
That's some
just
other
art in
nerd
general
shit.
in this game. I do like it. This is what you get in 2010s with Flash games though, just
Rich
complete
ass.
violence. And I
Nah,
remember
for
at this
real.
time period when I was young, the internet felt
What
kind of
was the
scary
Zoe
because you had
101?
Gym
sites like
class.
LiveLeak and Best Scores.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy.
just made Flash games like this like feel like a place you're not supposed to be on, really. Which honestly, I never was probably supposed to be playing these games at
That
like 10
school
years
was
old.
tough.
Probably not the best for me, yeah. But Divine
Why you
Intervention
left?
was still cool as hell, and I was really hyped to beat this game. It has a super cool final boss at the end, and
Best
I don't know, there's a
school
lot of
lunch.
ducking and jumping over. It's pretty choreographed, and I like that. They tried a lot with this game, you can tell. 9 out of 10 on the gem scale for sure. The only reason it's not a 10 is because it needs more replay value. It's so short. I'm editing this video right now and forgot to mention this
I
game
was
has an
always
absolute
moving or
banger that
living
plays
with
the whole
different
time
people.
too.
Real type shit. I feel that.
Now we get into another fun one, which was The Last Stand Union City. And okay, this might be my favorite Flash game ever made. I'm probably a little biased too because I spent way too much time on this game as a kid. I remember going to Armor Games, loading this up, and then just
I feel
disappearing
like I
into it
played
for
this
hours.
off
It
the
was
menu
closest
right
thing
here.
we had to a real zombie
They got
survival
another game that I
browser
used to
back then.
play.
Unlike a lot of other Flash games we talked about so far,
This was
Union
tough.
City
He was with a
actually gave
van,
you
though.
room to breathe and explore. You weren't just bouncing from one screen to the next. You could wander around in this big messed up city, clear buildings, find weapons, and survive against zombies. You could even find survivors that give you quests or follow you. It felt a lot more alive than most Flash games. And it had you manage stuff like your health, your gear, all that stuff. It was really a full RPG survival game. The story was pretty surface level.
I
You're just
used to
looking for your
FW
partner,
this
but I
one
remember
zombie
how
game
intense
where you
it felt
drive a
walking
car
through these
and
streets for
upgrade
the
it.
first time. You clear one room and think you were safe, and the next hallway could be flooded with zombies.
That
you
shit
didn't see
kind of
coming.
sound familiar.
The
I
levels in this
just
game were
I
interconnected
gotta see
in
it
one
for
map
real.
too, which almost made it feel open
to
world.
know if
And
that's
it had
what
a
I'm
day
talking-
and night cycle,
or
and
to know if-
everything from the sounds, the
That's what I'm
gunshots, the
thinking
cool
about.
gear and weapons you can get was almost
Facts.
perfect. And one of the craziest part is this game didn't just stay a memory. There's modern versions of Last Stand made for PC and consoles, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Last Stand Union City was the first Flash game to me that felt like an actual
gotta be
world
in
you could
here.
lose yourself in. 10
We'll
out of
see.
10 on the gem scale for me. Next up is Crush the Castle, specifically the second game, and oh man, these games were satisfying as a kid. You just sling giant rocks, bombs, or whatever you can at castles and
I
watch
play
everything go.
Balloon
There's no
Tower
story, no
Defense.
rules, just chaos and destruction. I'd spend
This
like
one
10
cool, but I
minutes
played
tweaking the
Balloon
angle
Tower
or the
Defense
power
instead.
just to see how much damage I could do. Some castles would explode perfectly and other ones would barely wobble, but it was always pretty funny to just watch a tiny piece of rubble take a guy out completely across the screen. Absolute nonsense, but this game's iconic. It's the perfect mix of simple and addictive.
Angry
8 out
Bird
of 10 on the gem
B.C.
scale. Next up is
Angry
Adventure
Bird?
Quest, and no, not Worlds. I
I
really
ain't
don't
played
like
that
that
shit
game, honestly.
unless
But
it's
I do
on the
like
phone.
Adventure Quest. It was an MMORPG. You pick a class, level up, fight monsters, and collect gear. You could log in anywhere as long as you had a computer. Adventure Quest was pretty huge back then. It really made me feel like Flash games could carry a full RPG experience right in your browser, which was insane at the time. Adventure Quest is going to get a 7.5 on the gem scale.
You ever FW Pokemon?
Yo, yeah.
I'm saying that's basically what that last game is.
Okay. Nah, that's exactly what that shit is for real. But yeah, I broke my DS behind that bitch, bro. While I was duking, bro. That
DS
shit
was
maxed
so
me.
tough.
Shit maxed me. I split that bitch in half. It still worked because the wires was connected, but I broke that bitch, bro. I had to hold the top screen. I had to prop that bitch up like a laptop for real. To play that
Used
shit.
to be on the bus playing Mario Kart.
For real.
This next game is severely underrated, and it's Champions of Chaos. I used to always play this game with my sister because you
I
get a
didn't
team
have
of
the
2
FS
characters
phase,
that you both
unfortunately
control,
only
so
had
we just keep switching the
PSPS.
mouse whenever it was our character's turn, and that
I
was a lot
wanted
of
that.
fun.
That's what I
This
wanted.
game wasn't perfect, and it honestly
It
looks
was
like
just
a
too
meme
much.
sometimes, but it was pretty good for a
I
turn-based
wanted
action
PSP
game.
back.
At least the
Me
Flash
too, I ain't
one.
lying.
DS
I spent so
asterisk.
many hours on this one though, trying to figure
I
out
know
which
what you mean.
champion was actually worth leveling and which one I liked most.
I
And I
wanted
used
that
to rage
PSP
like
bad.
crazy if I died in this game because you get one-shotted by enemies and it was super hard if you didn't understand it. The animations are messy, the sound effects are all over the place, and the arena designs are just ugly sometimes, but this game had strippers you can buy called pets, which is also
Cam,
interesting.
how much you
I don't know
think a
why I
budget
said but,
PC
like that's
is?
a plus of the game. I mean, I guess you could look at it that way. Also, this game is
Oh,
how I
let's
figured out
700.
about bit crushed audio,
You
which is
could
pretty cool.
probably
Or would a gaming laptop be
600.
better?
Get a PC.
Used
Thank you
to
for
want
the
a DS
attendance
because
into the
everybody
arena
had one.
tournament, right?
It's one of those games where the
Everybody-
jankiness isn't even a flaw.
If everybody got it, that's not good. You don't want that shit. I
You
know
could
I know
watch
how it
movies and
is though.
shit on PSP.
I feel like everybody had the PSP though, but that's because I ain't have it for real. You can play 2K on that bitch, bro. You can play fucking 2K on the
Yet IFW my PSP's tough.
bro, that shit was so I played that shit all night whenever I
It's part of the charm.
did
Watching your
finally
little
get the
team
chance
slowly
to
grow,
play
surrounded
one.
Wrestling
over
Ally
enemies
Tony
that were way
Hawk.
bigger than
Yeah,
you, hitting criticals
WWE.
that explode into a mess of ugly colors.
GTA
That's what
2.
makes it sick. Looking back, it's kind of insane that a Flash game even pulled this off because I have no clue who the developers were. I mean, Llama Games or whatever. Yeah, shout out to these guys. I wish this game was more popular back then. I feel like I was really the only one who knew about it.
With Vice City.
12 out of 10 on the gem
Old
scale
Tony
for
Hawk's
pets.
was fire. I forget
Oh,
which
that
one
is-
I
Last
played.
is Swords and Sandals, but specifically Solo
San Andreas.
Ultras.
It was before San-
Honestly, this is my favorite Flash game ever, not Union City. This right here. You create
like
a
GTA
chopped ass
2,
gladiator,
GTA
pick
3?
your weapons, and start working your way through these arenas, and it's very
Tony Hawk
ridiculous.
2,
From tiny
Skate
goblins
3,
to massive Yeti humans,
or
and
Skate
even
2,
some
whichever
completely
one.
bizarre monsters that make you
It's
stop
on the
and wonder
DS.
what the designers were smoking. It's funny that this game is turn-based because I never really liked turn-based games, but this is the third
I might have that
turn-based
bitch
game
on
on this
Xbox
list.
somehow.
You
I
could
remember
like
playing it
skate
for
around the
hours trying to
city.
figure out the best builds
I
and
played 1 to
strategies so
4
my
Pro
gladiator
Skater
could
and
finally
1
make
to
it through the
4
boss
Underground.
arenas.
Underground
There's
2.
something about
Played
the
it on
progression
PS2.
too. You start as a
Underground.
tiny weak fighter and slowly level up, buy new gear, and suddenly you're taking down these big
I used to
geared
chain
enemies. It's the
the
perfect mix of frustration and reward. Swords and Sandals is
I
pure
used to chain
nostalgia, and it really
the
shows how Flash
like the
games can make
kickflip
these
and
small,
shit like that. I used
focused
to go down.
experiences feel huge.
I used to chain
Breaks the gem scale.
what the shit called.
And that's it for part 1 of the
I used to
wildest,
combo this
most
shit.
memorable Flash games. And you heard me, part 1. Some of these games were rough, some were ridiculous, and some actually had a lot of potential, especially for the time they were created. I wonder what a lot of these devs are doing nowadays. I know a lot of them either moved to Steam or mobile.
Games used to hit
If you have a
different.
favorite Flash game I didn't mention or a memory from these old days,
Same
drop it in the
most
comments.
popular
I'd love
one
to
is
hear it.
Tony Hawk
And
Pro
as always,
Skater
have a
4.
wonderful day.
I probably
Facts.
played it, but I gotta see. Games used to hit different.
It's
Bad
more
too.
fun when you don't know what you doing FR.
Better know what you're doing when you're going on that mission. I know professional shooters and I get them niggas pissed. But for that drill, they walk down. My young niggas most so sick. I try to teach this bitch a lesson. That little bitches wouldn't list. I tired of lectures. Now I'm sending all these hoes to the tip. I put my city on new swag. Little bitch, check out my invention. When BR niggas get a bag, we heading straight to the dick. I'ma put some diamonds in my dick. Reach for my jewelry, I leave you crazy.